Hello beautiful friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. We're into April now, so let's do a March favourites. I'm going to go through all of the items, new or old, that I was reaching for during the month of March. Let's start with skincare. First up is the Gentle Cleanse Hydrating Rosemary Foam by Medicaid. I have very sensitive skin, so I'm always cautious about trying new skincare, but I absolutely love this foam. I was kindly sent it in PR and I've been using it for about 3 weeks now. I use a couple of pumps, and because it's already a foam, it doesn't need any lathering. As always when I'm cleansing though, I really work it into my skin to make sure I'm getting all of the impurities. The light rosemary scent is so lovely as well. It's specifically formulated for sensitive skin, and because it's so gentle, it doesn't leave my skin feeling tight or looking red. I always apply it to damp skin, by the way. Next up is a product I haven't mentioned on here before, but I've been using it every day for months now. I decanted some into this little travel tube for my fated Bali trip, so I've just been using it from there. This is the Ampoule by Skin 1004, which is a Korean brand. For transparency, I did do a paid partnership with the brand on TikTok for a few products, including this one. I use it in the morning after cleansing and before my vitamin C serum. It's amazingly hydrating, so gentle, and it sinks into the skin so beautifully. I also read a study that combining Centella asiatica and vitamin C topically can help improve skin suppleness and firmness. I've been using this next product in the evenings for about 5 weeks now. This is the Snail Mucin 95 Plus Peptide Facial Essence by Korean brand Jumiso. And again, for transparency, I worked with Style Korean on a video for this particular product on TikTok and Instagram. I've found so many of my favourite skincare products from testing them out for potential paid partnerships. This has the typical snail mucin texture, so quite gloopy, which I love. Over time, I'm fairly certain this has evened out my skin tone, and it's also nice and hydrating. I received this next item in the same PR package as the cleanser. Medicaid is becoming one of my favourite skincare brands of all time. These are the Ultimate Recovery Biocellulose masks, and they come in a pack of 6. I thought it was quite interesting that the masks themselves are made from fibres that are obtained from the fermentation of coconut water. I've been using these once a week and I absolutely love how hydrating they are. First you remove the gauze from one side, and then I find it easier to stick it onto my face and then remove the other side. That way it doesn't stick together. The mask is so nice and soft, and it's infused with hyaluronic acid. It's also really tightly woven, so it never dries out. You can leave it on for as long as you want. I kind of think of it as the face equivalent of putting socks on after a really thick foot cream and waking up with really soft feet. They're £63 for the pack of 6, which is very pricey, but unfortunately I will have to repurchase when I'm out. Thinking about it though, I don't think I've tried a single Medicaid product that I don't think is worth it. I used my viewfinder to apply it, so I put it on too low down and had to do a bit of adjusting. You can kind of see how thin and soft the mask itself is though when I'm moving it. As always, I'll link every product in the description box, along with my ongoing Cult Beauty discount code. And now for another Korean skincare product. I've been using these for a few months. These are the collagen eye patches with Jericho Rose Jelly by Abib. There are 60 patches per tub, so they're going to last a long time, seeing as I use them once a week. I bought mine for £20 from YesStyle, but I see that they're currently £11.20 on there. They're very thin and soft. I like wearing them for an hour or so while I'm watching TV in the evening. There's lots of nourishing ingredients packed into them, including shea butter, peptides, hyaluronic acid, caffeine and ceramides. My under eye area is even more sensitive than the rest of my face, and it tends to get very dry. I do use hydrating eye creams morning and evening, which has helped, but it's nice to have this extra boost during the week. The instructions say to keep them on for 20 minutes, but I usually leave them on for longer than that, or just until they've dried out. I kept them on for 20 minutes this time though, and then just patted in any excess product. The patches leave such a nice glow. My under eyes just look and feel so hydrated. I also think the added hydration makes my dark circles look lighter. Now let's do body and hair care. We have a stunning new addition to the perfume family. This is Irresistible Very Floral by Givenchy. I wouldn't usually encourage brands to send me perfumes in PR because I like maybe 5% of the perfumes I smell. But the team sent me details of the perfume beforehand, and I'm so glad they sent it because it's absolutely beautiful. It's primarily floral and fruity, but with a woody element, so there's a slight intensity to it. I have been absolutely drowning myself in this. The next item is the Find Comfort Hydrating Hand Cream by Rare Beauty. I ordered mine from Sephora and it was £18, so very pricey for a small hand cream. Having said that, I love the shape. I love that you don't need to remove a lid, and the product itself is very hydrating. As you'll know if you're a regular on my channel, I hate the feeling of hand cream on my palms, so I kind of just rub my knuckles together. It's also really rich, so you hardly need any. Naturium's made it into another favourites video. This is the Multivitamin Daily Nutrients Body Wash. I finished the Glow Getter one that I mentioned last month, and I think it lasted maybe a couple of months. It's rich in amino acids and fortified with vitamins, minerals and antioxidants, so I think the £16 I paid for it is very reasonable. It's very gentle too, so perfect for my sensitive skin. Next up is a hair product I've been using for years, but I don't think I've mentioned it on here before. This is the No Frizz Nourishing Styling Cream by Living Proof. I still use and love the Way Leave-In Conditioner that I mentioned last month, but now I alternate between these two. I forgot how good this product was for a little while. I use a hair towel to get rid of any excess moisture and then brush through my hair with my Tangle Teaser. Then once I've got rid of all of the knots, I apply a generous amount of the styling cream onto my hands, rub them together and then apply it mostly to the ends. Once they're saturated with product, I use any excess on my little baby hairs. When it's dry, my hair looks so soft, and I even use it on dry hair sometimes. So good if you have dry hair like me. Now let's do makeup. There are quite a few items in this category. We're starting off strong with the Anti-Blemish Solutions Liquid Makeup by Clinique in the shade WN01. They sent this to me in PR, and at first I was a bit confused because my skin tone has never been described as warm before. But then again, the last time I was able to find a good Clinique shade match, I was a teenager, so I thought I'd give it a go. And I'm glad I did, because this seems to work for me. I've always found Clinique to be good for my very sensitive acne-prone skin, and this is specifically anti-blemish. It contains salicylic acid, which helps to reduce swelling and redness and unplugs blocked pores. I'm using my Rose Ink foundation brush to apply it, which I find works best. The product itself is very lightweight. It feels like a tinted moisturiser, but the coverage is surprisingly good. It has that beautiful skin-like satin finish as well, which is my absolute favourite. I love how it evens out my skin tone without looking like a mask, so I'd say it's maybe medium coverage. It's extremely blendable and also buildable if you're looking for more coverage. This didn't oxidise on me, and while the shade match isn't absolutely perfect, it's very close. I did most of the rest of my makeup off screen, and now time for blusher. The first one I've really enjoyed using lately is the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Luminous Powder Blush in the shade Happy. I usually wear matte blushes, but I absolutely love the luminosity that this gives. I like applying it using a big fluffy powder brush. I just find that it applies the product more evenly. It's not glittery at all, which I like, and I think the shade is so beautiful. This was £26 from Space NK, so definitely on the more expensive side, but I think this is going to last absolutely ages. I take it slightly higher up on my cheekbone than I normally would, just because I want it to double up as a highlighter. You can kind of tell here that it's not so radiant that it highlights any texture, it's more when the light hits it. And the other blusher I've been reaching for a lot lately is the Dior Backstage Rosy Glow blusher in the shade 001 Pink. I received this in PR about a year ago now, and I've used it probably 30 times, but you wouldn't be able to tell from looking at it. I honestly believe this blusher will last until the end of time. I know a lot of people with deeper skin tones said that this doesn't show up on them, but at least on me this is extremely pigmented. When I wear a cream or liquid blusher, I really love using this as a topper once I've powdered. It's so cool toned it's almost purple, which I absolutely love. Now onto highlighters. The first one is the Unleash Sheer Mood Shower Face Palette Highlighter in the shade Ballerino Shower. For transparency, I did work with Unleash Sheer on TikTok and Instagram to promote these highlighters. And while I love both of the highlighter palettes they came out with, I specifically love this blue shade. Definitely not the shade I thought I'd be reaching for, but I think it looks so beautiful on the skin, especially paired with a cool toned blusher. And the one I'm going to use on the other side is the Lit and Luminous Baked Highlighter by Iconic London in the shade Universal. As a very pale individual, I'm always cautious about products labelled Universal, but I think this is stunning. It does look slightly pink in the pan, but on the skin I think it's beautiful, no grey cast at all. It's a really smooth formula as well. Please excuse the fingerprints all over it. I was also sent this in PR, by the way. I'm also popping some on the tip of my nose and my Cupid's bow. I would say that the Unleash Sheer highlighter shade is more of a statement, because you can definitely see the blue when I turn my head, and the Iconic London one is more subtle. I'll pop a little overlay here showing you the different Unleash Sheer shades. March was a glorious month for lip products. First up is the Extra Lip Tint by Bobbi Brown in the shade Bare Melon. I've been quite a vocal Bobbi Brown hater for a while now, but I have to admit this lip tint is absolutely stunning. I was sent this in a PR parcel by Next Beauty, and I would never have bought it myself because I don't tend to like Bobbi Brown products. I'm so glad Next sent it over though, because how beautiful is this colour? The formula's more of a balm than a tint, but it does stain the lips in the nicest way. Low maintenance and the perfect summer shade. Next up is this adorable little lip product from Tony Moly. This is the Coconut Jelly Lip Melt. I was sent this in PR, and at first it seemed like quite a novelty product with the jelly shape, but it's so thick and moisturising, and look at that shine. It has to be the sparkliest lip balm I've ever tried, and I love the silvery blue reflex. It really lasts on the lips, and it's very nourishing and bouncy. I believe this particular shade is limited edition, so I'm going to have to get me a backup. This next one is a lot subtler. This is the YSL Loveshine lipstick in the shade 44. It's so similar to my natural lip colour, just slightly pinker. I was sent this and a few other shades in the most beautiful heart-shaped PR parcel. This is definitely my favourite shade though. I've been wearing this every day to work. I think the level of pigment is really nice for how thin the formula is, and I love the shiny finish. Next up is a combination I've really enjoyed using. This is the Huda Beauty Lip Contour 2.0 in the shade Deep Rose and the new Faux Filler Gloss in the shade Sugar Baby. The line is quite a lot darker than the gloss is, but because they're both so cool toned, I think they work together really well. The formula of the lip line is really creamy as well, so it's easy to blend it into the gloss. After lining my lips, I put a fair amount of the gloss into the centre of my lips and then just use my finger to blend them together. It does take a little bit of blending, but I think the ombre effect is so stunning. These glosses are so hydrating as well and very shiny. I was sent both of these in PR, but the lip contour retails for £19 and the glosses retail for £17.50. Another very juicy lip product I've been enjoying using recently is the e.l.f. Pout Clout Lip Plumping Pen in the shade Read My Mind. I love how melty the formula is and the pigment is amazing. It has the little click mechanism which I like, and this was £8 from Superdrug. For e.l.f. it is actually quite pricey, but I do think these are worth it. And now we have yet another lip product. This is the Matte Creme Lipstick by Queen Musia in the shade Madame Bovary. I went live with a paid partnership for these lipsticks 2 days ago, and I'm so glad I managed to get sign off so I could feature it here. It's a little bit brighter than I'd normally go for, but I think it's stunning. Queen Musia's matte creme lipsticks contain a blend of 8 nourishing oils, so they're so hydrating despite being matte. This formulation has to be the smoothest and creamiest I've ever tried. And finally, same as last month, I'm going to put my entertainment favourites in the description box. And those were my March favourites. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. As I said, I will link everything down below. Goodbye.